On the show today, no Spike. We got Chris Ryan of The Ringer filling in. We're going to hear what he thinks about the Sixers these days after I don't know, are we still capable of gut-wrenching losses? Turns out we might be. The Rights To Ricky Sanchez podcast is presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Sign up for DraftKings Sportsbook by using promo code RTRS. Brought to you by BodyBio. Get 20% off any BodyBio order. Promo code August. BodyBio.com. Also Kornblau Law, the official law firm of the Rights To Ricky Sanchez. And what we should be drinking right now, Surfside iced tea and vodka, the official canned cocktail of losing to the Lakers. Also subscribe to our writers, rightstoRickySanchez.com/subscribe. We got a good one from MOC about how Tyrese Maxey's ascendance should change the Sixers' long-term plans. I really enjoyed that article. But Surfside iced tea and vodka is the official drink of Philly sports, and you know why. The flavors, they got them all. They got everything for some of them. Some sweet, some not too sweet, whatever you feel like. Only 2 grams of sugar, only 100 calories, not carbonated, no bubbles in iced tea. Get it wherever you get your canned cocktails. Drink surfside.com. You got to be 21. CJ, Amos, and the chef.
We were right, y'all. We were right. Even when it went wrong, we were right. We was right, y'all. We were right. So say the name. Say the name. We were right, y'all. We were right. Even when it went wrong, we were right. We were right, y'all. We were right. So say the name. Say the name. Say the name.
This is the Rights To Ricky Sanchez podcast. I am Mike Levin, alongside a guy who has been existing with this team and the feelings of this team for as long as I've known him. It's Chris Ryan of The Ringer.
Live from Los Angeles. It's Sunday night.
Live from us being in the same city and across town, talking about the team that we wanted to beat, the team that we live. Let's talk about the end of the game. Let's go right to it. LeBron did it to us.
Yep.
How does that make you feel in 2025?
Amused. That was. I honestly, if we're gonna go down like that, I'm fine with it. Him being him, and it was fun to watch him drink from the fountain of youth. I guess if I can take my own personal biases out of it. What about you?
Well, I'm watching with Alyssa. My wife's a Lakers fan, and I'm just like, it's not a healthy way to exist with your wife.
Was she doing like Brian Dawkins, like Weapon X?
a little bit. And I'm just like, this isn't fun for me. It's never been fun for me. Even when the Sixers are winning, it's not fun for me. I shouldn't be in the same place. It felt frustrating that it was just like, oh, he's just going to decide to hit 4 jumpers in a span of 3 minutes in a row. And we're going to be on some sort of documentary of like, still has it at 48 or whatever the fuck. They should have won that game. Would have been nice to win that game. It seemed to me like the Sixers defense was very good until it wasn't. Mm-hmm. Like there was 3-4 possessions each quarter where they just completely forgot to guard some of the best players in basketball history. That's important, I think.
It's got to be in the game plan.
Yeah, that's got to be in the game.
It's like in bullet points just beforehand. You might want to guard these guys.
How frustrating? Is there anything more frustrating in basketball than getting like easily lobbed to death?
When Joel Embiid has got the back door, it's pretty hard to think of anything more frustrating than that. And it's really like, I'm trying to be measured in my critiques of him just because of what he's meant to the franchise. But like watching him flat-footed kind of as he narrates DeAndre Ayton cutting backdoor on him for the 4th time was a little tough.
Like a maestro sort of. Yeah. And here it is. Like, yeah, Nicely done.
It's like Barnum and Bailey. And now
presenting a lob on my fucking head.
Yeah. So that was difficult. I thought I really want to hear from you, honestly, because I think you watched the game in a more in-depth way than I do, is like what's going on with us in the third quarter, which has become now the reverse Warriors, like we are just coming out of the halftime on Valium, ready to get absolutely boat raced. And then we make it exciting in the fourth. And I really dislike that feeling of like the inevitability of a third quarter run from the opposing team.
Yeah. I don't know. I have no answer. Whatever they're doing.
I know McCain wasn't out there very much in the third quarter, if at all, but like, it's not like he's like the stopper or, we can't be relying on him. It's just so strange.
So they got outscored by 10 in the third quarter tonight. Coming into tonight, the net ratings by quarter in the league, let's say, so they're plus 3.4 in the first, plus 13.2 in the second, minus 22.6 in the third, which is 29th, and plus 9.7 in the fourth. And so they're second in the league in the second and the fourth. That's per Bodner. And they got outscored by 10 in the third tonight. I don't know what it is. Whatever they're doing at halftime, they just need to George Costanza do the opposite.
Yeah.
Everybody across the board, everybody as one needs to do the exact opposite thing. If they're shitting, if they're not shitting, whatever it is, don't go into if there's something about the locker room, don't go in. Just stay outside. Just watch Red Panda do whatever she does. And just enjoy the halftime show like you're part of the stand, like part of the audience.
For context, like I actually do think at this point it would be better for us to run out like whatever kids are taking free throw shots for charity checks or Borgata weekends or whatever they're doing.
If there's
send those guys out for the third quarter and everybody else can take a breather.
The drum line, Franklin just trying half court shots behind his back, like that would anything but what's happening. I really don't know what it is, and I would need to. It's not like they play better on Wednesdays. What is it about Wednesdays? It seems like that's kind of probably random, but like every game they come out of halftime looking like shit. So that seems correctable. That seems more than random. That seems something that you should address and take seriously.
Did the Lakers zone us up a little bit in the third quarter too, though?
I mean, but it's not. If it was, then everybody. I don't know. I really don't know. It seems like they run good offense until they don't. There's flowing, there's screening, and then all of a sudden there's mud. There's just mud. They seem to get a lot of good action out of their guards. Screening for each other low and then flying off of pin downs from bigs, coming up ready to shoot, and then that goes away. I don't know. It was a fun game. Like I'm frustrated now, and I'm gonna try to let that go, let that flow out of my fingertips. Sure. If I can do a little bit of yoga speak and just let it go out of my fingertips, out of my toes. Because that was a fun
Lane Kiffin right now.
The yoga talk. This is awesome. Yeah, take my dog. He's not real. But it was cool to have an intense game against some of the best players. Luka, one of the best players in the league. LeBron, one of the best players of all time. Both teams being at relative full strength and really wanting it. There was a seriousness that everybody took this game, which I enjoyed. It does a little bit feel when all the Sixers are playing. We had Paul George and Joel Embiid in this one, and you're still missing Oubre. You're still missing Watford. But when the Sixers are mostly very healthy, it almost feels like there's too many good players out there. There's too many options.
Yes, I completely understand what you mean.
Which gives it like a little bit of an all-star game type of feel where it's like, okay, it's time for like Darius Garland to cook. And then they all watch him do it. And then we're like, let's see if Bam can like take step back threes. It feels a little bit like that.
Is that Joel's problem right now? Is that he thinks it's an all-star game and that's like the speed he's moving at right now? Because he's definitely got that trot of like, yeah, it's going to be 160, 154. Yeah. I completely know what you mean. There's a lot of problems I have with Embiid on the defensive end, but on the offensive end, I mean, obviously he could not hit water if being dropped off of a Carnival cruise line tonight. But it seemed like they were still very deferential to him. Like he was still getting, like he'd set a half-hearted screen. Maxey would then like get it over to him, and he would kind of stand there, and his confidence was waning, obviously throughout the game, until he finally got like some decent stuff going, like within 15 feet, it seemed like. But man, like if you've got him on the court, it seems like even our team psychologically doesn't know what to do with him other than feature him. You can't really play him in a slot or in a role.
So me and Spike disagreed. The first game back from his extended absence, which was against the Hawks. No, the Warriors. I thought he looked pretty good in playing as a part of the offense. And not being it's Joel Cook time. Mm-hmm. And whereas Spike felt the opposite, it felt like it was him doing too much just by himself, like as if he is owed that. This game was him, especially early on, fully going, I still got it. I'm still that guy. I'm still 100% myself, and I deserve all of these shots. And in a game when he was 1 of 11 from the field in the first half and finishes 4 of 21, that's really hard. That's hard to do. I mean, he ends up 0 for 5 from 3. He's 0 for his last 14 in his last 3 games from 3. I I can on the one hand say you got to keep taking him, man, mm-hmm. and on the other hand being like, stop fucking taking him. I don't want to see those. Like at this point, you said the confidence thing. It's weird to see Joel lose his confidence. It's weird to see that.
Do you think part of it has to do with the fact that absent Joel, or sometimes even with him as a participant, like the Sixers play a completely different style of basketball than the one that maybe suits this particular physical form he has taken? Because like when he's not on the floor, even though Drummond can be a little bit of like a lane clogger and not exactly like the most fleet-footed dude I've ever seen, he's not expecting the ball. Mm-hmm. So you do get that kind of buzzsaw action around the perimeter of these guys, like kind of running in circles, or like that really, really lightning transition that Maxey will run when he gets a steal, or even off of a make. And they're like, oh, we're going to get Grimes open. We're going to get some guy with a mismatch coming off of like a screen or a pin down, like you were saying. And then when it's Joe out there, he's just like, damn, you guys are fast. Like, it almost seems like he's like, what happened? What happened to the game I knew?
Yeah, I think that's hugely part of it. I think the naively optimistic part of, let's say, most Sixers fans that are still engaged is still like, well, it's probably not going to happen, but if we can get everybody healthy and you start to put those pieces together, this is the hard part of that. Health is one part of it, but the other part is like they need to have chemistry. They need to feel for each other of where people are going to be on the floor. I think Joel and Jared McCain had some nice chemistry tonight, which was maybe the first time we've seen that. It looked very much like Joel and JJ Redick back in the day. And that was nice to see McCain get a couple threes off from that. But yeah, it's hard to feel like super optimistic that this team can fluidly transition from one style of play to the other right now.
Yeah,
it seems against top like competition.
A platoon kind of situation, or this is Maxey's time and then this is Joel's time, which that's not how the NBA works. Like, that's not going to work. I've been really pleasantly surprised with how PG seems to be like at doing what he can with what he's got, and trying to be effective. Obviously, I think LeBron hit 2 threes in his face, or at least one down the stretch there, but it is what it is with that. Joe, it would be great if Joe could just be like, no one's scoring over me, and I'll get 10 rebounds and I'll get fouls and break up a opposing run with like I'll grift and get to the line and kill their momentum. And it's just, he's obviously just trying to get his legs back, which is totally fine, because I think that's how he's going to have to do it. But when it doesn't also feel like they've had a conversation beforehand about like, hey, this is how we play now, so what could we do best to like fit you into that, it gets a little bit janky out there.
Yeah, I want to talk about like a path forward for Joel after we talk about our sponsor, DraftKings Sportsbook. Look, man, NBA season's going off. There's teams that are good. There's teams that are bad. I didn't expect a lot of it. We got some teams to talk about with Chris today. But we have a lot of action if you're part of a community that can bet on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Missouri listeners, they're now live. I'm sure we got a ton of Missouri listeners here. Bet $5, get $200 if your bet wins, paid in bonus bets. Chris, I want to ask you if the Sixers at plus 1,200 to win the Eastern Conference appeals to you at all. Does that appeal to you at all? And
sure.
if it does, it does.
That's sure. Why not? Like, I mean, if we're talking about like a micro investment, just like a kind of just a women of prayer, sure. 1,200 is fine.
Same odds as the Heat, 1,200.
That's really interesting. I guess the idea there would be like if you're jumping on the Heat now before a big trade, right?
Yeah, I think it does. I am legally prohibited from betting on the Sixers on account of all the brain injuries I've suffered because of them. So that is it is actually a legal issue. But you don't have to be. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code RTRS. That's code RTRS. Get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. You have to be 21. See show notes for details. All right, so Joel wasn't hitting his threes, kept taking him, smattering of booze. He takes the 3 down 5 late. I didn't love that. I didn't love it after the game he's had. The thing that I do like, I mean, he's ultimately any version of Joel that's going to be successful at this point in his career has to hit threes. It has to happen. So on like a theoretical level, I want him taking those shots. Tonight, maybe I didn't want him taking those shots, those specifically. But he had a really nice drive off a closeout on the wing where he found Barlow for a layup.
So nice
spot.
Yeah.
Which was just so nice. And what you said about, hey, him realizing who he is now. I'm not going to play every game. I'm not going to play 35 minutes and score 30 points. But here's what I can do. Because he's so smart still as a basketball player. Just his positioning, even if he is olaying DeAndre Ayton into big lob dunks behind him, his positioning is good enough that he can prevent things simply from being on the court, simply from standing there and knowing where to be. Where you can see from Drummond, he's just sort of lost in space sometimes. I would love offensively for him to be a total decoy all the time. For him to just be, because the defense still gets terrified when he has the ball. They're still doubling him in the post when he has a smaller guy on him, whatever. I just want him to absolutely bait them into everything and into making mistakes, into leaving people open, into opening up cutting lanes for other guys to fly off of him. And I don't know if he's willing to do that. I think it's interesting that he played against LeBron and Luka, where LeBron, I don't know if all the time, but has so clearly accepted that Luka's better than him now.
Sure.
And Luka is the guy that has to do it. The amount of times Luka just gets the ball right back off a LeBron pass, I think is like, oh, okay, yeah, he gets it. He gets that. I think Joel does do that with Maxey most of the time, but then sometimes he's like, or I can just do my thing. And it's frustrating that that he's just not, he's not automatic. We didn't think his legs would be there. You don't expect him to play defensively like he had in the past, even though he rose up for a nice block on LeBron at one point. But it's very frustrating that his shot is not where it is either. Like it needs to at least be there.
Your point about him getting doubled and teams almost seemingly operating off of like an ancient scroll of a scouting report on this team. Yeah. We should be playing to our advantage as much as humanly possible. I don't know. Just emotionally, this feels like among the best shooting teams he's ever had. And so if he were able to pass out of those doubles efficiently and quickly and get it back to guys like Grimes, get it back to guys like Maxey, who was out of his mind to start the game. Mm-hmm. I just feel like it would be a much more balanced attack when he's out there. And instead it seems almost like we have to let this old band headline the festival because they've come out to do it. And that doesn't really work. And it's, this was especially like the wrong game for him. Like, cause as soon as it got this kind of pickup pace, as soon as you see that, there's kind of speaks to the third quarter thing where it's like, what are you guys talking about at halftime? Like, are you not getting a feel for this game where 4 guys are running off of makes and trying to get disadvantage, like trying to take advantage of defense of not getting set. And then 1 guy is like, I'm playing in 1998. I'm going to take it down to 2 seconds on the shot clock and see what I can do here.
You went with a band. I was thinking, and I'm thinking of a particular actor, but I shouldn't say it, where you're working with an actor and you're like, holy shit, it's this guy.
Yeah.
This guy's been in some of the fucking coolest movies ever. I bet he's still got it. And then you're at the table read, you're on set, you see him go, and you're like, I don't know, man.
Is it always like this? Yeah.
He can't string one sentence together. Like, that's even just the one. Can we shorten
Is this
the lines?
part of Daniel Day-Lewis's process?
I don't know. And then maybe you watch it in post and you're like, God damn it, he cut together, didn't he? But there's no editing in a live basketball game. Maybe Joel needs a good edit.
Incidentally, it does sound like that's how. This is publicly documented, but it sounds like that's how Christoph Waltz acts in Tarantino movies. Is that he's like constantly breaking and being like line, but then when Tarantino edits it, it's totally perfect because like he can do it in the micro.
Yes, that might frustrate me if I was another actor.
Yeah. It might frustrate me if I was Quentin Tarantino. Like,
if I was the editor. Like,
Let's
just
get
fucking
to
do it.
lunch.
Give me it in one, something. Paul George. I am enjoying the Paul George
Me too.
Dynamic right now. I'm enjoying it. I thought he played great in the Bucks game. He had 25 and 5 and no turnovers in a season high 30 minutes. Tonight he played 32. I think he's blending in very nicely in a way that is probably frustrating when you are depending on him to be your number one guy. But since we're so far past that, he's just like very capable of standing in the right place defensively, getting his length in there, and then hitting catch and shoot threes, making the right pass. I thought he passed really well in the Bucks game, and he still took over and sealed it. I mean, like, that's a game that Maxey was very cold in, one of Maxey's worst games in a while, and Paul George won them that game. And I think he's mixing in drives with some mid-range stuff. He's passing. He's hopping into his threes a little bit. He looks fresh. He looks like not washed, which I know is not like
a guy who's like 5 games away from being in game shape and in a good way. And I also found his quotes recently about the state of his body to be like pretty pragmatic and straightforward and very like endearing. Where he's just like, I do not want to be in pain. Like, trust me, I would love to be young and spry and ready to rock, but I'm basically working with what my body can give me and trying not to put myself, out for an extended period of time that'll hurt this team. It has like, I wish we kind of had the more straight talk express stuff when it comes to Embiid as well, like the day-to-day questionable, probable, unlikely, I don't know who's in charge, who's the doctor kind of stuff is much more frustrating with him. With PG, it just seems like, he's got a bad back or he's got a bad knee and there's all sorts of stuff going on with him. But when he's out there, he is able to be a Swiss Army knife that I think we've always hoped he would be.
And he's getting on the ground. He's playing hard. He's not, he's not going to turn into Lou Dort all of a sudden, but he is playing as a part of this team. And if you can get 55 games of that, I'll be just very happy with where we're at. With Paul and Joel over the last couple of years, Paul, you occasionally want to grab him by the lapels, shove him against the wall and being like, try harder. Just do it. Really give a shit and make it look like. And I think he's doing that. With Joel, I would want to do that. Step on a medium-sized ladder, obviously, Colangelo style, and tell Joel you don't know the Colangelo tweets by heart. The B-sides of a Colangelo tweet.
I should.
You should. You should study up, man. There's a lot of good text in there. But Joel, it's like, I want you to answer to me about the rebounding thing. I want to hear Joel. I want some reporter who has, whether it's a national person or somebody on, maybe it's fucking Marcus Hayes. Somebody just go like, hey man, why are you not trying on rebounds anymore? Are you embarrassed that DeAndre Ayton just like yanked a rebound out from over your head? Like, you're 7 feet tall, you're massive. Is this really the best you can do? Like that's sort of what and if the answer is yes, then I think that's part of the Straight Talk Express you were talking about of him being like, I just can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
And then we realized that. But I want to hear him say it.
Joel always used to punk guys lesser than him. Like that was maybe even to a fault. Like he was kind of like a little bit of a bully when it came to guys who were like kind of, eating at a lower trough. And there was something weird that happened tonight when I can't remember if it was like in the second quarter. Jackson Hayes knocked the ball loose and went out of bounds. And I feel like Luka kind of went up to Hayes. And it almost, I was not lip reading, nor did they discuss this on the Lakers broadcast that I was watching, but it almost felt like Luka was like, keep doing that. He can't hold it. Like it seemed like they were like, we should pick on him. Like we should take his head out of the game. He's not going to get these calls. Let's do it. And that's the thing that's probably the most alarming to me. The thing I was curious about with you, because this seems to be like a running theme over the last couple of weeks with you and Spike, is discussing like the Embiid cloud versus the Embiid sunshine. And if we'd lost tonight in the exact same score, almost in the exact same fashion, but Embiid hadn't played, would you feel better about it?
Yeah. I mean, 421 is 421, and he still finishes the plus 11 in 30 minutes. Like I think, that's if you're so tired of Embiid, I totally get it, but that is the tantalizing thing of going like, you have Maxey, you have McCain, you have Grimes and Edgecombe who can take a piece, you have Watford when he's there, you have a bunch of other guys that can play hard as hell. I want to talk about Barlow and Walker, who are guys I'm just like falling in love with. Can you just like be the caulk that seals it all together by being perfectly competent and smarter than everybody else at your size? The athleticism's gone, but like, can you just be enough foul drawing, enough rim protection, enough like leveraging the shadow of what you used to be to get open looks for other people? Can you just like seal it all together? Because this is the best supporting cast he's ever had, and calling it his supporting cast is obviously wrong because he's not the main star anymore. But like, can you just take the things that they need from you? Because no one else can do those things. Can you take them so seriously? And that, by nature would allow them, but some other things would fall out. But I think him being the sort of like supersized, souped up Brooke Lopez is just like
probably not. That's not on his menu. I mean, it's also like, it's probably too much for us to be like, can't you be Joker?
Yeah.
Can you just throw backdoor passes all night when people are rushing you at the foul line or at the nail? Yeah, it's tough. I was thinking about this because, this team, I think this is the version of the Sixers I've loved the most since, I guess, the Butler team, but perhaps even before that. Like I love this like four-headed guard hydra that they have, and these guys that are developing right in front of our eyes, like Watford. And I love Don Barlow, and the George part of it works for me. Like him playing effective team basketball really works for me. And I don't want to be in a position where I'm like, frustrated at the franchise player, but it's just because it's not like Ja, where when Ja comes back in for Memphis, he can play as fast as Memphis wants to play, or he can kind of like, almost match the athleticism. He may not match what the coach wants him to do, and he may hate the rotations there, but Joel almost is playing a different philosophy than the rest of the guys are playing. And that's where it gets really frustrating.
Let's talk for a second about our friends at BodyBio, who Joel should be going to remineralize his body after 30 minutes tonight. I got a text. I what's it called? I separated my finger. No, what did I fucking do to it? CJ,
dislocated?
Dislocated it. That's what it is. And my brain dislocated my brain. I
watched The Pit, by the way.
Thank
so
you.
I was able to do
Hell
that.
yeah, you found it out. And Mike from BodyBio texted me an article of doing some like rice exercises, some like hand in rice bag exercises. And he was like, CJ should know this as a climber. If CJ doesn't know this, then that's his fault. we love BodyBio. I take Gut Plus. I take sodium butyrate. I take Elite for cramps, which I get when I play basketball. They're really very useful. Like they keep the Gut Plus, and the butyrate keeps me regular as hell, which I need to be. I gotta be. Please let me get regular, and I have, thanks to BodyBio, and I'm not waking up in the middle of the night with cramps because of Elite after basketball when I have night games. And I do have a game tomorrow night, and I am playing. I'm designated as playing off the injury report, even though I can't fully close my fist. I'm playing, baby.
Is that shooting hand?
No, guide hand.
Okay, good.
I can do it. We'll get 20% off any order at bodybio.com with the promo code August. 20% order. That's really good. We love it. Thank you, BodyBio. We haven't talked really about Maxey yet. And I find the experience watching him to be unlike any other thing in sports to me. When him becoming an elite shooter, it's like it's in another language. Like, I don't believe that it happened. It's happening and it keeps happening, and I don't believe that it is. Step backs, possessions going nowhere. All of a sudden he's hitting a three, turns a corner off the dribble, off a screen, goes straight up. That desperation three at the end to keep them to cut it to two. They just go in. How does this happen? What does it feel like for you?
He's my favorite athlete. I want to move back to Philly to be a part of his life and to support him.
How would you be part of his life?
I don't know. Like, was he a driver? Is there anything I could do for him? I'll just pod for him all day long if he needs like a parasocial relationship with somebody who talks about TV.
He's like, I haven't been able to watch Eastern Gate. Can you just tell me about it?
Pluribus, what's the deal with this lady? His leap. I forgot that we could do that. I forgot that we could have basketball players who come back after every summer, seemingly adding a new element, a new wrinkle, a new level to their games. It's really, really thrilling. And just kind of emotionally, narratively, you can just tell it's his team. You can just tell they're keying off of him. I love LeBron half shit talking, but half just like chatting with him for half the game. And clearly like the deference, like those other great players are showing him. Luka seemed amused with him and like chatting with him throughout the game. It's not like it's not like this is like a pretend dress rehearsal, or he is, the understudy filling in for Joel. This is his team. And I think that the identity of the team seems transformed when it's like about him, and all the other guys seem to play complementary ball to him, which is like the kind of the great test of any star player is like, does everybody else buy it? Does everybody else buy into like what you're selling, and like they want to play your style of basketball?
Absolutely. I mean, it's in his image right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing in his image. Even the power forwards that are being very helpful, they're playing that way because everyone's flying at Maxey all the time, so that they can get open, they can find lanes to the basket. Defense, if I'm the only one that is, he's unbelievable. He's become an unbelievable defender. Rui had him sealed underneath, and it was like, oh, I just got this point guard I'm going to put him in the basket. And Maxey is just like baiting him into pulling the chair, all of a sudden strips him.
Yep.
He swipes a LeBron post up coming off of his blind side. I like that hard double. I want a hard double like that, a close hard double. I have issues with help, Chris.
You talking about the one on Luka towards the end, like out?
Well, he did it to LeBron on the blind side post up, and then he did it to Luka, and he blocked him, and that was a crazy. He almost picked off a Luka roll that he ended up going out of bounds on. It felt very like cornerback coming up nickel cornerback coming up the seam. He had 2 steals and 2 blocks tonight. He's going to set a career high in blocks by like February.
Yeah.
The thing that you talked about adding to his game and taking a leap, and you didn't know he can do that. I need another leap, and that leap is passing. And he had finished with 9 assists tonight. I think those are like gimme assists. Those are like, I could walk the ball over to somebody because they just want it out of my hands so badly.
Right.
He draws so many double teams. He has too many good teammates to take some of the like unnecessarily difficult twos that he does. It shouldn't be that hard. The Sixers as a team, they shot 38% from 3 today. They shot I think 31% from 2. That's hard. That's hard to do.
Yeah.
That is hard to do. And I almost, the threes are going to come and go, but like you got to get more shots at the rim.
And they're there because we have like willing runners. So that's why it's not like we're like a bunch of old guys who nobody wants to cut anymore.
Yeah.
Like these guys are all cutting for their NBA careers.
Yes.
Like Barlow is happy to go flying at the rim every single time. Like these guys actually do want that. And you know, you've got shooters at every corner. So like there should be more opportunities for him. I personally, like, I think the sort of like, it was obviously like a little bit of small sample size theater, but those opening games of the season when VJ was playing point a little bit more,
yeah,
I almost wonder whether that was like the model that I preferred, because it was like Maxey gets to do all this stuff and use his speed off ball.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like he's been handling a little bit more or running the offense a little bit more, especially as PG and Joel came back. I don't know. Would you say that's true?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think that they, Nick, we talked a little bit last time about whether Nurse trusts McCain. Is he playing enough minutes? He played 13 minutes tonight. Is he playing all of the minutes that Maxey is not on the court so McCain can be point guard? It seems like they're a little bit of two minds of like who they're trying to feature and what they're trying to prioritize. And maybe it's a mix. Maybe it's just like everybody's going to get a chance. It's a long season, that kind of thing. But for Maxey, I love him flying around screens. I love him leveraging his nuclear shooting ability off the catch. He was 5 of 8 from 3 tonight. But I just need those lobs. I need lobs. I need easy lobs. It seems like there are, like you said, Barlow's open underneath, Walker's open underneath, Drummond is sometimes open underneath. Like, and it just feels like everyone team wide is a step slow making that pass. And there's such a frustration when you have like a quarterback who is like, the guy's open, like the window is now, like you have to see it. And when you don't see it and you're just looking at it for a while. I don't know what kind
of quarterback would be.
Yeah, again, I don't want to name, I guess theoretically, hypothetically.
If you had a quarterback who was like, oh, there's these really talented guys that are open for a split second, but I just decide I'm going to do something else.
Let me double clutch once or twice. But especially with watching Luka and LeBron throw lob after lob, like there's just no reason why Adembona, when he's in there, or Barlow aren't constantly catching lobs over and over again, because there's too many good players to not weaponize that.
Adembona just not in the rotation if both Joel and Andre are playing. Is that the deal?
I think so. I mean, Joel played 30, Andre played 18. I don't mind it. I like Nick going kind of hot hand with whoever of Drummond. Or I thought Drummond was pretty good tonight. Finishes 11 and 12. He doesn't. I don't think he's ever going to protect the rim or be in the right position down there. But the thing that I would just love the Drummond experience if he could catch a lob, and he can't anymore. You have to throw him the pass, and then he goes, okay, time to power up. Like if he had like a saying that he had to do, like it's clobbering time.
Andre Drummond's Mario saying be?
Yeah.
What is like let's go be?
Here we go. I think it's just him doing that when he goes up. But yeah, like PG threw him a lob one time and he tried like a 5-foot tip in tonight. That's not gonna happen. But yeah, Bona fell out of the rotation tonight. Justin Edwards fell out of the rotation tonight. I'm fine with that. I'm okay mixing it in there. Them going nine guy rotation tonight was I thought fine. Let's talk for a second about VJ. You mentioned bringing up his ball handling times that seems to have gone away, but they still run stuff for him and allow him to dribble into pick and rolls. And I've just been so impressed by how smooth he is in the mid range, how composed he is. He had a really nice lefty scoop off the glass after getting bodied by Reeves. I think he stays balanced in a way that I'm very surprised by, considering like his skill set. You're not expecting that kind of skill set to be balanced. And I think staying balanced is like the most important thing in basketball now, to as like a lead, as like any type of penetrating guard, you have to have that. And I think he has it.
Yeah, the only thing I was really seeing with him tonight that there was a couple of times where I felt like Drummond was in his way. And I felt like when the earlier part of the season when he was really popping off, he had like there was just a much more fluid kind of interchange or interplay between the front court and the back court, and that he was able to really like press his athleticism. And that was where the Dwayne Wade comps were coming. That was where everybody had stars in their eyes. But you say balance, and I know you mean like physically as a ball handler. I would also just say like I'm really impressed with the fact that he's seemingly stayed on like an even keel, despite the fact that he's like kind of come back down to earth a little bit, which is inevitable for rookies.
Yeah.
Because if I had had the first 2 weeks that he had, I would it'd really be hard for me to like accept like, oh, I only got 11 tonight, or like I didn't get as many looks, or it was like I was fourth option once Paul George and Joel Embiid was out there. So it's like a little bit less easy for me to see my name when I look at my mentions. The fact that he's seemingly like kind of going along with the flow of an NBA season already is really, really gratifying. Just on a narrative level. But like, yeah, I mean, his like unpredictability is like my favorite element of his game, where he's seeing angles that only he can see because he's like, I can make that jump. Like, I can get to this spot and get off of like my left foot and angle my body in. And that's so awesome to see from such a young player.
1.5 All-Star games. Which one are you taking?
Over. I think once we like kind of figure out what this team is in a year,
yeah,
like I think he's going to be really, really good.
The shot is so inspiring. How many threes do you see him take when there's a guy right in front of him and he's just sort of calmly balanced, like I said, just shooting over him? They're so worried about his athleticism and his burst.
Yeah.
They're playing defense on his shot, almost like they're trying to disarm a bomb. Like if they make one wrong move and they're just going to get exploded.
Yeah, because there's just all of those guys are going to be like absolutely decapitated if they don't stay in front of him.
Yeah, I mean a couple nice ones in the Bucks game too. I like that he got a taste of defending Luka. I think those are just like good reps to get. I thought Grimes also did a pretty good job on Luka. I mean, Luka's just very good. Like Luka
at the beginning of this game, I was just like, he's gonna score 60. This is tough.
Yeah. It's frustrating because they played pretty good. The shots just didn't fall from two. Like that's such a weird way to lead. The Lakers took 85 shots. The Sixers took 102. And the Lakers won this game. And the Sixers also made 6 more free throws than the Lakers. And I meant to say when we talked about Maxey, not getting the whistle tonight was interesting.
Yeah, what the hell? Like, I don't want to do this, but like it was sort of bizarre to watch it with the Lakers broadcast just because that never came up. So you're sitting there and you're just like, do I just have Philly goggles on? But I just felt like he was getting knocked around a lot and wasn't getting a single call. But it felt like it was a pretty free flowing game in general. Like there wasn't a really heavy whistle. The Lakers, I guess, got a couple of LeBron Luka calls, but
yeah, he's setting career highs in free throw rate and stuff this year. This is an anomaly, I think, but in the part of the take a step up in this kind of game is when they are, they scored 24 points in the third, 24 points in the fourth. The like number one option type guy that we think Maxey is, and he's capable of showing that he is a lot of the time, has a couple moments when things go quiet and goes, oh, I'm just going to get to the line.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go to the line right now and just get to the line. And I would like to see a little more of that. He gets trapped. He gets boxed in on those pick and rolls going right. And he's like kind of like 14 feet away from the basket. There's a guy on the strong side next to him. There's his man fighting around the screen. And then there's the big and drop.
Yeah.
And in that moment, he sort of does like a hesitation dribble and then kind of doesn't know what to do with it. And a lot of times he takes like a little floater off the glass, and he's so capable of making one. He had a crazy floater driving left, floating right towards the baseline. It was an unbelievable play.
Oh, that was sweet. Yeah.
But it's that like right there is where I go like, how can you weaponize this? There's too many guys on you and too many somebodies are open where that play, if he can figure that play out where he gets open shots or a dunk out of it from somebody else, that I think is going to make him like completely impossible to guard.
Yeah, it almost seems maybe counterintuitive to him because like right now he's like the the advantage that I have over everybody else is that I'm just moving so much faster than them.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to press is like, you can throw a soft triple team at me, but I'm going to get where I need to go first. Whereas like, if he's like, yeah, I'm actually going to slow this down and invite more obvious contact, you know, maybe I'll like be able to like get us like 6-7 extra points a night by doing that.
Yeah, that's the next step for me. The Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast is brought to you by LL Pavorsky Jewelers, the original, the first sponsor of this podcast, which has been going on for what feels like a majority of my life. So
how long has it been going on for?
This podcast?
Yeah.
I think we are at 11 and a half years, 12.
Okay. Yeah.
CJ, do you know offhand?
I was going to guess 13.
13. We're closing 13. On that. I think it might be 13 this coming summer.
So that's like right around me and Andy. We were 2012. Yeah.
The oldest, the four of us, the oldest people alive. just absolutely like, you shouldn't be allowed to say you've done a podcast for that long. It should be against some sort of societal rule. But LL's been with us since not the beginning, but he was trying to get us to do it from the beginning. We rejected it, but then we signed him on as the listener, as the only podcast sponsor for a while, and then and it's been great. We are in the Christmas season. We are there. The 12 deals of Christmas are going on now through December 9th. That's in 2 days. You probably need to get people gifts. You probably need to get people jewelry, or maybe yourself jewelry. I could use some, maybe a watch, maybe a chain. That's kind of cool. Go to lpavorsky.com for details. 707 Walnut. You can call them. You can show up there. 215-627-2252. Of the people that have listened to this podcast, 460 plus have bought engagement rings.
That's a wild number.
460 plus. It feels like we've stuck there. Like when the Sixers have like 84 for like 8 minutes, and you're like, how are we still at 84? I feel like we're there with LL.
Quarter of your engagement
I think so. I think LL needs to find a way to get to the line and get a couple quick ones. Maybe that'll get them going. I need to get to 500. We have to get to 500 by the end of the year, by the end of the season. Otherwise, we're not making.
You don't have to get married. Just get the ring.
You don't have to get married. That's what they say. That's the tagline. You don't have to get married. You just have to get the ring. LL, he's the best. We love him. Call him. I said the number. Email him. Lee@llpavorsky.com. LL makes charity contributions in our name for Providence Animal Center and Mama T's Community Fridge. Thank you, LL. We love you. I want to talk about Barlow and Jabari. I've been teasing it. Having two guys at two-way spots that do what they do is such a blessing. And I think to my core, I am a second-round draft pick guy.
Mm-hmm.
And this feels like just what I love the most about basketball is when you can find a role player like both of them, really. I wrote for Barlow. I trust him. And it's so hard to trust a young role player like this way. He battles for loose balls. He gets extra possessions for them. I thought he did good work on Luka. He's long. He's strong. He doesn't bite on the fakes. And then Jabari, he'll out-rebound anybody. When was the last time the Sixers had like a psycho rebounder who could shoot?
Oh God, I know. This is like if Paul Reed had a jumper, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Reggie Evans.
Yeah. Yeah. Barlow, really... I love. Barlow is like we're nearing jersey purchase. And
where do you get that? You show up to a Modell's and you say, give me a Barlow.
You go to Mitchell and Ness, and I'm like, wait, send everybody home. We got work to do.
You got any in the back?
Yeah. Perfect role player. And also like a really sophisticated understanding of like the game already. And I just love the way he plays. He's like the perfect complement to Grimes, VJ, and Maxey, and now McCain, of like that you need somebody who's just like, these guys are playing jazz out here. I'm just trying to like keep some sort of rhythm and like get it like a tipped ball, like get something going where we can maybe get a second chance and then take my shots when I also like the fact that he will take a shot when he has it. Like he's never like, not me. I couldn't possibly. I'm just the fifth guy out here. He's like, he has like real smarts.
Yeah. The three does look very bad. He hit one tonight. and it's not the same form as Jonah Bolden, but it makes me feel the same way.
It's the opposite of VJ's shot.
It really is the exact opposite. It comes like from the side and then like twists in his hand a little bit. That's not what you want. But Jabari, they told him, I like this kind of thing. This is why I like role players, because it's like they basically told him, you have to catch and shoot threes. If you don't, you will not play. And then he heard that, obviously son of an NBA player, son of an NBA role player, Samaki Walker. And Jabari was like, okay. And then he gets hot against Milwaukee. He hits 4. He has a heat check, which I love to see.
Mm-hmm.
In this one, he ran a pick and pop off the timeout where he backpedaled to the corner, hit one. I think it's great. I think he's a good player. He obviously is not like a fluid athlete, but in like sort of he makes it work to the point where he was covering LeBron at one point. And this is my pet peeve. If Spike was here, he would press the button. But like, Quentin Grimes comes from all the way over. Like, it's Nurse yelled at Quentin Grimes, like, go double.
Uh-huh.
And so he doubles from 40 feet away. It's hard. I mean, like, that's not going to be a successful one. You're not going to get that. And then LeBron makes a very easy pass to the area that Grimes just vacated and hit a 3. I would have trusted Jabari on there. I really love him. I love both those guys. They need those guys. If you had to bump up one, it would probably be Barlow.
Just for his utility, yeah.
Yeah, and he's younger.
Oh.
But I want both. I want both of them to be role players on this team for a long time, and good for Nick Nurse for playing both of them despite the two-way situation.
Yeah, the depth of this team. I mean, your point about the draft thing is probably dead on. Like, that's also like why guys get obsessed with the draft, is to find dudes like this, and or at least to think that they've found people like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the best teams in the league have guys like this all over the place. You know what I mean? Like, the best teams in the league, while they may have like top end talent, like the Thunder being the model, is just like they have a 13th or a 9th guy who's like can just come in and be effective. And I think if the Sixers are going to get like the minutes that Maxey is playing and the minutes some of the starters are playing are really nursey, and it's really good to have this depth, even if there's got to be a financial decision at some point.
I saw Maxey under 40 minutes tonight, and I was like, oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's nice.
That's the best thing about McCain being back, is that obviously that's the person that they see as the 1-to-1.
Grimes, a little blend in tonight, and he had a really good game against Milwaukee, got hot from 3, and this one he was only 1 of 5. But he plays at 1 speed, and I think that is both a compliment and criticism, because he'll be wide open, and he will still like act like there's a guy with his hand right in his face.
He has to
elevate so much, and it's like, okay, maybe just like smooth into it a little bit. You could use a little bit of Paul George vibe there, but I love. We talk about VJ as the kind of Josh Hart stuff. Obviously, VJ can do more and will do more, but the sort of this team has imbued a sense of the kinds of we will steal possessions. They finished with 17 offensive rebounds tonight, which is how they had a chance to win despite shooting 35% from the field. And Grimes is another one that is like, he had a ton of rebounds. He has a ton of like energy rebounds, 3 offensive rebounds. That possession at the end when they were down 5, they got a couple offensive rebounds out of it because they're just playing their ass off and they're running the ball.
Joel and Drummond being corpses, the only silver lining to it is it seems like the memo has gotten across to the entire roster that like, we'll just lose if you guys don't try to rebound, because like the 2 7-footers we have cannot. Mm-hmm. So it's really cool to see the guards crash like that, and even if they don't come down with a board and it's just like, well, you extended a play or you busted it up or something happens. I like the amount of stuff happening that this team seems to manufacture.
Where are you at on McCain future potential?
Well, I thought I saw tonight like some good hit ahead passes and some like really like effective ball movement that I did feel like, to your point about Maxey as PG or as a point guard and Maxey as like, an assist merchant. Like, it was kind of cool to see somebody who's probably like, my spot's not guaranteed just because I had like a nice rookie season. And so I have to figure out ways to be effective out here. Do you think we have too many too many guys that are too similar, though? I mean, is this kind of like there's not enough mouths to feed with the 4 guards that we have?
I mean, Maxey becoming a really good. I concern more on the defensive end.
Yeah.
To be honest, Maxey becoming a really good defender has allowed me to believe in him and McCain as a future 1-2. I mean, him, McCain, Edgecombe is small, but I think if any of them are going to become the lob thrower, it's McCain. I would love to see a little bit more Trae Young out of McCain on the offensive end.
Mm-hmm.
Are you just so crafty and able to use your body enough that you can get any good look at all times? And I think putting the ball in his hands a little bit more and seeing that. He uses his body really well on drives, which is why he can absorb a bump and extend. But I would love to see that on a passing level as well. And we haven't really seen it that much. Also, just want to say it feels like he's trying too hard to use his no dip 3. And it's like a guy just read a book about Teddy Roosevelt.
Yeah.
And you're being finding opportunities to bring up Teddy Roosevelt. I mean, this wasn't one.
Watches 4 episodes of the American Revolution and can't stop talking about it. Yeah.
I don't think that's we weren't talking about that, man. I think use a dip. I think let it dip sometimes. Sometimes a dip is nice. All right, this game is frustrating, but you can take positives out of it.
I mean, it's third game in 4 nights, right?
Yeah.
I would have liked to have beaten the Lakers. I was annoyed that there would seem to be a lot of Lakers fans in the lower bowl. I did not like the fact that LeBron was getting cheers.
Yeah.
So it would have been cool to stuff it, but it's sometimes in these weird games, like a Sunday night game, if LeBron's deciding that he's gone to Bryce Harper's doctor in between his last
Should he do
outing.
that?
It seemed like he did. I don't know, full blood replacement therapy.
Should Embiid go to Bryce's blood doctor?
I would love that, man. I mean, just try anything at this point.
Yeah, in a phase of trying shit.
What would you do if the next day there was Joel and Bryce were on the same opposite gurneys?
Yeah,
and some Maha doctor was got you, bro.
Yeah, fuck. Giannis.
Oh yeah, sure.
Where are you at on it? Spike asked me about it on the last pod, and I completely fumbled an answer. I was not prepared to discuss it. I hadn't really even considered it. Zach Lowe on his podcast doesn't mention the Sixers as a Giannis potential trade destination, but it does feel like something Daryl is at least having conversations about within. Where are you at with that?
Walk me through this. What would it entail?
Well, that's the confusing thing is obviously one of Joel or PG would have to go. And so which one
and a young guard, presumably, right?
And
so
at least one, maybe both of McCain and Edgecombe. And I would probably, I mean, obviously you'd rather trade McCain than Edgecombe at this point. But maybe that's wrong. Maybe that's, I'm making an assumption based on hey, we already have this kind of piece, and so let's keep this other kind of piece, which is different. But maybe that's just too easy of an answer. And then you'd throw in a couple Sixers picks. Obviously, the Clippers picks would be the star.
Ones. Yeah.
The question is, I guess, if you're the Bucks, do you I think they'll be able to get a better deal that doesn't come with, hey, you're saddled with several years of Embiid or PG, and on the Sixers side, it's which one would you rather trade in a world where Giannis is now your best player and you're trying to win a championship as soon as possible?
I would respectfully step away from the bidding. I mean, I encourage Daryl to just make sure John Horst isn't I'll do this for Paul George and Quentin Grimes, but I think that this has been such a cool season because even if we're a 5 or 6 seed or even a play-in team, you can see the building blocks of something. And I don't even know if the building blocks of this is a obvious championship contender down the line, but the building blocks of a team that has an identity and has a kind of youthful effervescence that we've maybe lacked for a couple of years between Harden and Horford and Joel's decline. So the idea of doing some sell the farm trade to bring Giannis, who would have to want to come here. I think is everything I've heard is like that. This will have to be a mutually agreed upon trade because otherwise he'll just be like, "I'm good. I'll stay in Milwaukee." Yeah. I mean, I also think that at this point, like if you're Milwaukee, you might want. Would you just want the Heat package of Ware and Hero and whatever they can scrape together from there?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on who you know. If I'm controlling both teams on sort of a 2K franchise hack, I'm sending him to San Antonio.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely doing one of Castle or Harper and then stack the contracts that you can stack and let it be Fox, whichever of Harper or Castle doesn't get traded, and then Giannis and Wembanyama. Like, what do we? And if you can keep Vassell, like there, I mean, that's go get it. This idea of like waiting for Oklahoma City, like waiting for what? Like they're going to be good forever
for 10 years. What are you talking? Yeah,
you just gotta go.
Yeah. And if anything, I'd be worried that Oklahoma City tried to trade for Giannis. You know what I mean? Like, I know that's crazy, but it is something that they could do. Yeah, I think I just have scar tissue from trying to fix this team or build this team or finish this team through the trade market. And I would prefer to see where this Edgecombe, Maxey, and maybe even McCain thing goes for the rest of the season. I don't have. Also, like I think it would be kind of cool to see us in the playoffs. Like I'm not blown away by what the Eastern Conference has on offer, with the exception of maybe Detroit, which also feels like it's something that could come a little bit back down to earth.
Sure.
And they can't really shoot, so that might be important in the playoffs. And not saying that the Sixers are going to the Eastern Conference Finals or something like that, but I do think we're a playoff team, and weirder things have happened in the Eastern Conference over the last couple of seasons.
I mean, it's hard not to talk yourself into like once you start a sentence like that, then you go like, and if anybody's and we get healthy, and if it's the schedule works out in our favor.
The Pacers last year, they got a lot of they got some breaks with other teams' injuries, but they got super hot and played a style that nobody could really keep up with.
What's the style that we play that nobody can keep up with, where we also win playoff games?
Probably involves Joel doing like Twitch streaming from the owner's suite while we run.
Yeah.
Are you enticed? Were you like, you've got my attention with this?
Initially, I felt the exact same way you did, which is like, they're not going to. Other teams will have better offers, and that don't come with the strings of like 3 or 4 years of an albatross on a team that then should be bad or should want to be bad. I think Atlanta is another good team that should trade for him, especially since the Milwaukee can then get control of their pick back. And then you can consider, I guess, the Trae Young thing if that's what they want. But I sort of, if you can get Giannis and pair him with Maxey, you can kind of figure everything else out.
Sure.
So, but I also like the vibe around the Sixers has been so bad since. I mean, you could before the Jimmy year.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably the first year they went to the playoffs.
That it's just been like kind of like this is it's boom or bust for us, and if it's not boom, it's just gonna really suck.
They were the first year they went to the playoffs. Joel missed they won 16 in a row. Joel broke his face on Markel's shoulder.
I remember, yeah.
Ilyasova and Bellinelli. Dario's there, TJ, and Simmons playing young, or as young, wild, and free as he played, as he could be. And since then it's been like a fucking arduous, angsty slog. And right now, because we're made in Maxey's image, and Edgecombe is fun and bouncy, and Grimes is fun and bouncy, and McCain is fun as hell, and figuring it out, and Paul George looks like a Paul George,
a copy of a Paul George copy. Yeah.
A Paul George bodysuit. And there's some power forward. It's like kind of like, this is fun. This is mostly fun. Tonight for some reason, when Embiid is there, even though I love Joel, I start to have a bad time.
Yeah, I mean he's playing 5 steps slower than everybody else on the floor. It's a sad thing to watch.
Yeah.
And I don't really think that this is like, oh, he's 10 pounds overweight. He's just got to play 10 games in a row and get it back. It's like his legs are gone, and that's what it's going to be. So what are we going to do about that? And I think the fact that like his injuries have never been completely legible to honestly anybody but like his doctors or whatever. It's not like Tatum's just out for the year, he'll be back next year. It's just this constant kind of like will he or won't he that I feel like sometimes subsumes the team.
Yeah, the thing about a will they won't they in a rom-com is you tend to have some sort of resolution. It's not just will they won't they as they're like living together but then also not living together, and like it's too much. I want to end it with this, and this might be the most Chuck Klosterman I've ever sounded.
Please.
Do you think NBA players are too good at basketball? And should we make the rim smaller?
Too good at shooting or just too athletic? Because I think I'm probably more in favor of like court expansion than I am rim shrinkage.
Yeah.
But then you get into like this whole like these guys are covering too much ground and that's why everybody's straining their calves.
Yes.
So
I would allow more physicality.
Mm-hmm.
I would say like there's just everybody like Jake LaRavia hitting a step back 3. Like that would have made Tyrone Hill fall down and break both his legs if he tried to do that. Then that wasn't that long ago.
I know.
And now everybody's doing all that stuff. And there's D-cell, like left and right. It's too many. They're too good. They've become too good.
In relationship, not to bring up your day job, but I was thinking about this in relationship to the possible merger of Warner Brothers and Netflix and how much that would change things. And then I was like, we have 100% more TV shows on the air now than we did when I first started podcasting about television. And that was 10 years ago. Like it's so crazy to think about how much the medium changed in such a short period of time. And in basketball, it feels like if you go from lineup of death warriors, like small ball warriors to now, it's like the game doesn't look the same as it did the year before the Warriors did that. And it keeping up with the pace of change is hard because it's not an entertainment thing for basketball because it's really entertaining, generally speaking. So you're not going to be able to do stuff like baseball did where it's like, just put a clock on it. Like make them go faster. That'll be great. And it worked. And baseball rules now. Like it's tough. I don't know how to legislate or tweak basketball to make it a little less good, which is basically what we're asking for.
Yeah, I think like the sweet spot might have been like 2017 or 2018.
Yeah.
When it was like, oh, pace and space. But now it seems like just everybody is incredible, which makes it even more frustrating when like a guy like Dominic Barlow like has the shooting form that he does. It's like everybody else. It's like can those guys be a little bit worse and can these guys be a little bit better? They're incredible. I wish that I was that good and I wouldn't want to be better.
I wonder if you're asking me this question partially because of like the style of the game tonight, because it felt so gym run out there. And those guys could they seemingly could just like play at this 3/4 fast break pace the entire time, both teams, even LeBron.
Yeah. And
they seem so fluent in it. Like it's like it's so different from the walk it up, set it up, like 2 action basketball that we grew up with when we were kids.
Yeah. It was a good game. A lot of people I like played well. And we got to be on another LeBron segment.
Yeah.
Of the last 20 years of my life. Chris, I appreciate you being here.
Thanks for having me.
Suffering through this team with me. We'll be back with Spike in a couple days, talking about more games, regular season. We're in it, baby. Chris, are you down with TTP?
Of course I am.